All right, so I'm on the Zoom call here with the Dirty Nil. I didn't know I was going to get everybody, which is really, really cool. So guys, I've been a fan of the band for a while. I've seen the band live. I've seen you guys play a small room in Montreal. I've seen you play a festival. So I know you guys can either, you can adapt to whatever crowd you play to. Obviously, you guys can also adapt to any pandemic that's thrown your way, because you just put out a great, great song in the midst of this world completely going to shit, called Done with Drugs. Tell me a bit about this song.
Well, I guess lyrically it kind of comes from a place of just basically it's kind of like an inner dialogue kind of thing about trying to overcome any kind of personal obstacle, not necessarily narcotics or alcohol, but anything. I think it's just the tagline in my mind, I'm done with drugs, I hope they're done with me, just seems kind of a humorous spin on it. So, and kind of accurate, I think, to a degree that kind of encapsulates the feeling of trying to get rid of something like that from your life. But yeah, I mean, at this point in our lives, like we've got many friends who have had many different struggles over the years, and this is just kind of a distillation of all those sentiments into one song.
And it's very accurate when you say, I'm done with drugs, I hope they're done with me, because that a lot of the time that is the, I swear this is the last time. I swear this is the last time. And, you wake up in the morning, you feel like absolute crap. And by about 2-3 o'clock, hey, what's going on tonight? Where are we going?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's a very accurate portrayal of what goes on in people's minds when they're trying to get off of something. So
yes.
The energy of this band, to me, really, really comes from the live show. But you are one of the few bands I find that's able to translate that energy onto a recording. What do you think that is? When you guys record, do you guys try to record all together in a room? Because I find that the live vibe on recording versus the live vibe live is pretty much, they're pretty close.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say. I mean, that's always been, we always want to, I mean, the way that we go about making our songs is we rehearse them until we really like how they sound in the room all together. And we don't generally almost ever go into the studio with an idea and make something in the studio. We play something until we like the arrangement, just the three of us playing it, and work on all the bits of it so that it all fits together, and then we can play it from start to the end and feel really good about it. And so sometimes that takes a lot of time, but I think recording for us a lot of the time is kind of just an execution of the work that we've already done.
Right.
And trying to capture the best, most spirited, and kind of shining performance of the song that we can do. I think for some bands, especially modern bands, the recording is more of like as I said, they build a song in the studio and loop things and do all that. But we don't do that at all. We do the work before we record.
So you make sure you're pre-produced to hell before you guys record.
We make sure the song rips before we step into a recording studio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you, when we got on the phone today, when we got on the Zoom today, you guys mentioned that you're all staying in the same house. Have you guys been quarantined like this? Have you always lived together, or are you guys?
Yeah.
Have you guys always lived together, like since the band's been firing on all cylinders?
Yeah, Ross was living in the house before he joined the band. Actually, it was the three of us all living together.
Really? So he kind of joined by default?
Well,
yeah.
Ross, proximity, yeah.
They were like, who's the closest person with a bass? And,
that guy.
That guy. Funny enough, I can't even play. I don't even know how to play bass.
My mom plays all the bass on the record.
I just had one. Yeah.
You fake it pretty good, man. I've seen you play it.
My mom's behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Luke, I told you not to say anything, you little bitch.
Yeah. She writes all this. She writes all.
That's exactly what she sounds like.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, you guys must have had a lot of plans coming up. And how much did this thing just shit the bed on your entire summer plans?
I mean, to a certain extent, when we finish kind of recording a bunch of songs, we don't plan on immediately being on the road because we are basically creating supportive content for all that stuff and kind of getting our release plans together. So, I mean, we weren't planning on being on the road right now, but I mean, we're a band that kind of, prides itself on always doing something rather than nothing. So we're still really busy, and we've got lots of projects kind of related to the closest we can get to live performance. So we're definitely not sitting around twiddling our thumbs right but it is obviously an unfortunate set of circumstances, but we're always about trying to come up with the most hilarious solutions to modern problems that we can.
I know that the single's coming out on a 7-inch, on a blue 7-inch. I'm a big supporter and fan of vinyl. How important is it for you guys to make sure that there's physical product that comes out in this day and age that, a lot of stuff can just be thrown up digitally? Is it important to you guys that you have physical product that accompanies a digital release?
Certainly, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we always try and find really, really good visual artists to work with. And I mean, I personally don't even have a turntable, but I have a bunch of my friends' bands records because I like looking at them, and I mean, I'm in between turntables, let's say. But I mean,
Same.
the physical product is a really important aspect of rock and roll in particular. Looking at the artwork and lyrics and the whole package is an important aspect of it for us. So we really believe in it, rather than just a thumbnail digital thing trying to squint your eyes on your smartphone to see.
Yeah, like 300 by 300 DPI image that you can't see.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Especially with Max's artwork.
Yeah, well, listen, I love the aesthetic of the releases that I've seen so far. It has a really cool vibe to it.
Thanks.
Tell me a bit about this acoustic performance that's been, I got a chance to look at it really quickly, but tell me a bit about it.
Yeah, as I said, we've got a large collection of new songs that we're gearing up for some kind of packaging. But out of all of the songs that we made, I think Done With Drugs was the one that I was the least confident about assembling some sort of acoustic version, but always up for a new challenge. And just kind of gave it a whirl, and it went really well. I mean, it was fun. We just did it over at our friend's house. He set up all the mics and then left the room, and then we did it all safely with all of the COVID precautions, and let her rip, and there you go. Made some more magic.
Is it, it must be strange for you guys, because this music to me is not meant to be played acoustically. So when you do have to put it into that kind of a framework, what's it like?
I think it's just, it's always kind of a strange challenge, I guess, for me personally, because our songs do come together in a very loud rock and roll way. So trying to, even if things were generated on an acoustic originally, or if they have to be reverse engineered for the acoustic platform, it's always kind of like a fun challenge. But we always hope, I think, that through that method that it's basically an avenue and a window into exploring our electric catalog, which is what we do. Right.
And lastly, Luke, on That's What Heaven Feels Like, the vocal performance right from the beginning. I remember when I first put it on and I heard the way the vocals are attacked. Did that, to me, it sounds like one take. Was that a one take that you guys took? And I'm talking specifically about the second line when you do the now. To me, that sounds, because it's honest, and that was the first impression I had of the band. I was like, okay, this is honest. This isn't someone that's concerned about getting the perfect take. This is someone that wants to attack the vocal.
Yeah, I think we go for vibe over perfection.
Right. I guess that's what I'm trying to get across.
And John Goodmanson, who produced that one, as well as Done with Drugs, he also is about. He always says perfection is the enemy, and he said
that's a great line.
I mean, it is, and I think he gels very well with our sensibilities and has a good general sense of when we've got it, rather than sometimes in my mind I just want to keep pushing. I can do it a little bit better. But he's always like, no, that's great. You screwed it up just enough so that's awesome. And I'm like, all right, if you say so,
There seems to be this incredible vibe of great bands that's coming out of Ontario. There's July Talk, there's you guys, there's the Beaches. Do you think it's safe to say that there's like an Ontario scene that's been bubbling up over the last few years?
Anybody else?
I mean, yeah, there has. I mean, you go ahead, Ross.
No, you go ahead.
I think there has been for like a long time. I mean, we've been playing around, I'd say really involved since 2012.
Right.
Was when I personally really saw a lot of things, because we were touring with Pup in the early days then, and then it was like them and Pew Pew Pew, and then like Dilly Dally came later, and yeah, you've got July Talk and the Beaches,
and in the Anti-Queens.
On the area, in the Anti-Queens, yeah, and I don't know, Glorious Sons, it can go on, but it's weird because I feel like everyone kind of comes in from like a separate spot.
Oh yeah, definitely. But there definitely seems to be, and it's it's hard when you're inside of it and you're just going about your day and you're doing your thing. But as an outsider and someone who's a supporter of music from a broadcasting point of view, there really is a scene that's coming up, and I hope someone at one point recognizes it, because rock and roll was in a really tough spot 5-6 years ago. And in Canada, it's not in as tough of a spot as it was. And that's because of bands like you guys. So you guys should own that.
Thank you.
You guys should all get together and realize that, because I'm telling you, man, rock was looking really tough heading into 2010. And it's looking a lot better coming out of 2020.
That's good. I mean, it's hard to see, especially going on the road and coming home. Like, there's a little bit of a detachment sometimes with what's happening locally when you're on the road all the time. So it's like someone will be like, what's a good new band in the area? And I'm like, I don't know.
But I know a great band in Cleveland.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for taking the time. It's always nice to catch up with you. I hope you guys stay sane in the rest of this pandemic, and I hope you guys can get back to playing live again, because you guys definitely are a fantastic live band. And I'm looking forward to hearing more music, man.
Well, thanks so much, Jason. It was great to talk to you, and thank you so much for supporting the band and championing us. We love you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy.